Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kinsani and I bring you faith, education, wisdom, and lifestyle content. Ignore the background noise. I am not in studio. I am doing this again for my law students and my law graduates who are trying to figure out life as law graduates. Yeah, so I thought I should do this video because I feel like we haven't covered a lot about what we can actually do with our LLB degrees. I don't know much about this, so I thought let me just do this. And yeah, so let us start. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe and share, guys. Batoon, let's get to 1K subscribers. Let's get this thing. Let's start. So I'm gonna look at my notes a lot because this requires me to look at my notes. There's quite a few things you can do with your law degree, and you can get into legal practice, you can get into the private sector, you can get into academia, you can get into public interest, you can get into the public sector. Today's focus will be on on legal practice and the public sector. I will not delve too much into legal practice because this has been dealt with wildly, guys. If you look at legal YouTube or law YouTube, it's been covered. It's your advocacy and articles, or being an attorney, actually. That's the correct way to say it. So it's doing your articles, becoming an attorney, doing pupillage, and becoming an advocate. That's legal practice. But today I want us to delve deep into what you can do in the public sector or the justice system of our country. Okay, so I'm thinking for those that are actually interested in legal practice, becoming an attorney or an advocate, Snim Tembu has a nice video on it. It's a 3-part video series that you can watch, and it gets you into that. I'm in legal practice right now, guys. I'm not gonna talk about it. But yeah. So if you're becoming an attorney, you're gonna do your articles for 2 years. You're gonna write your board exams. You're gonna do practical legal training, and then you're gonna apply to court for admission, which is like a very special day. And then with being an advocate, you're gonna do, I think, your pupillage and write your bar exams, and then apply to court for admission. I think pupillage is like a year. So yeah, it's a bit different from what attorneys actually do, or candidate attorneys actually do eventually. So let's get into the most important part of this video, which is delving deep into public sector or the justice system of our country and what you can do with your LLB there. Number one, with the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development, you can become a state attorney, you can work at the Master of the High Court, you can work at the Office of the Family Advocate. State attorneys represent the state and in all lawsuits and transactions for and against the state. So yeah, that is you becoming a state attorney. You can work with the state attorney. Minimum requirement is your LLB and your admission. And then you can work at the Office of the Family Advocate. So if you guys know, is that during disputes for divorces, and the parents are fighting for kids. They're fighting, the child must come and stay with me because I'm a better parent, and I don't drink, and I don't do this, and he doesn't come home, and whatever, right? When that is happening, what the office of the family advocate does, it is that it determines the best interests of the child. So that is the main mandate of the office of the family advocate, best interest of the child, amending court orders regarding custody, access, and guardianship, and all those kind of things. Okay, so when we look at what you can do with as a state law advisor, is that you are going to provide legal services to the executive, to state departments, to parastatals, and independent bodies such as SARS, CETA, the IEC. Okay, so I thought this is interesting because you're like, okay, if I work as a chief state law advisor, I get to advise parastatals, like our parastatals, like when you watch State Capture, parastatals, ESCOM, Transnet, Denel, those are parastatals. And you also get to advise the executive, which is the president, the cabinet, and the ministers. So I think it's quite interesting. I think this is what I wanted to do initially when I was still doing my first year. But then because, in final year, all you hear is, I got articles at Weiwei, I got articles at Weiwei. You forget that there's actually so much more you can do with your LLB degree. Okay. And you can also work at the Master of the High Court. So, the Master of the High Court, is it a person? Is it not a person? It's not a person. Okay, but then there you are able to, you'll be doing the administration of estates of deceased and insolvent persons, protection and administration of the guidance fund, processing of inquiries by executors, attorneys, beneficiaries, and other persons. I actually got this information online. There's a very nice template. I think I'm going to put it up and show you guys. There's a very nice template about what you can do in the justice sector in our country. Guys, now I'm just like, I want these jobs. Like, can I get in somehow, state law advisor, if you're watching this? Okay, let's move on. Number 2, what you can do within the public sector is work for the National Prosecuting Authority as a public prosecutor or a state advocate. And public prosecutors, they act on behalf of the state and prosecute accused persons in the magistrates' courts on behalf of the state, while state advocates act as public prosecutors in the High Court. Yeah, guys, we need really great prosecutors for our state. It's also an interesting job to do. When you hear S versus Mang Mang, if you've done law before, guys, here's my notepad. Sorry for deviating so much, but I thought I should try and be quick, but also make this educational and fun. Okay, yeah, so those are the things that you can do within the National Prosecuting Authority. If you've heard about S versus Mang Mang, the S stands for the state, and that is represented by the public prosecutor or the state advocate. All right, let's move on to the third thing you can do within the public sector with your LLB degree is work for the judiciary, which is becoming a judge or a magistrate. And I think here, then the requirements are a bit higher because you don't just become a judge because you have an LLB degree, right? There's so much more that comes in, and I'm not going to look at the requirements now, but then judges preside over criminal, civil, and constitutional matters in the High Court, the Supreme Court of Appeal, and the Constitutional Court. They are appointed by the President on the advice of the JSC. I hope you have been following the interviews for our Chief Justice, and hope you're rooting for the best one. I don't know. I mean, like, all of them are great candidates, but would really appreciate a female Chief Justice, Justice Maya. Right? Okay, and then last but not least, the fourth thing you can do with your LLB degree within the public sector is working within the court administration, either be a judge's clerk, which I think is also interesting. If you just got admitted or you just got your LLB degree, you get to work directly with judges. You accompany them in all sittings at court sessions. You conduct research. You manage their diaries on sittings and cancellations, etc. And then you can also work as a registrar, which means the registrar of the court, which means you're responsible for all administrative tasks relating to the court and trials, etc., including the issuing of subpoenas and the filing of all processes of court. You can also work as a maintenance officer. They're giving us jobs, guys. If you were paying your maintenance and all of that, we didn't need some of these jobs. But yes, in the public sector, you can also become a maintenance officer, which performs duties in terms of the Maintenance Act. Okay, so I hope this was not a lengthy video. I don't want it to be too long, but I thought it would give you ideas if you do not want to become an attorney or an advocate. But if you still want to be an attorney and advocate, that is great. We need great legal minds in the fraternity, and also, but then the public sector also needs you. We need excellent minds within the public sector. And then, like I said, you can work for the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development, where you can become a state attorney, a state law advisor, work for the Master of the High Court, or you can work with the National Prosecuting Authority, where you're a public prosecutor, a state advocate, or work with the Judiciary, be a magistrate or a judge, or work for court administration, which is becoming a judge's clerk, for example, a registrar or maintenance officer. Again, I reiterate, this is just information I wanted to summarize for you. There's a great template online. Maybe I'm just going to leave a link below. I'm not going to put it up. I'm going to leave the link below. If you want more information, please click on the link. Do not be stuck with the traditional route of becoming X, Y, and Z. Whatever is being programmed to you, whatever you are being advised to do by everyone when you get that law degree, look at your options. If practice is not for you, you don't have to be in practice, right? Yeah, anyway, guys, I think I was a lot for this video. Like, I was too much. I was a lot. Anyway, so part 2, we will look at the private sector, we'll look at academia, we'll look at public interest. Yes, I'm also doing this research for myself, because I mean, like, who wouldn't want to work in the private sector or in academia? Well, there's so much to do with your LLB. I hope you see that you have options. Please don't forget to share, comment, like, subscribe, and guys, goodbye.